Hey, happy holidays, songwriters. This is Ari Koinuma, and today we are going to look at one of my favorite Christmas carols, O Come, O Come, Emmanuel, and figure out what is going right in the song that makes it such an enduring, popular song that you don't mind hearing year after year during this season. So I'm going to start out playing the verse melody on my guitar. It goes something like this. So what do you notice about that melody? Rhythmically, it's fairly sort of predictable. It's just pa 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 pa. It's like a quarter note kind of um, rhythm. So it's really not that interesting. But what might be interesting is, in particular, the first two lines. You notice the notes there. Oops. E minor, G, B. And if the song started more with stepwise motions like this, that would be a little bit more predictable or boring to listen to. But it starts out by framing a chord. And then here it is again. So it's a triadic melody, and triadic melodies are melodies that use notes of a chord and then use that as the notes in the melody, and it has the advantage of being a lot more interesting than stepwise motions, just going up and down the scale by one note at a time. But also it really fits with the song. It just doesn't sound quite jarring as other sort of bigger jumps. And that's an example of a good triadic melody there to open up the song and just really sort of invite the listener into listening. So in the second half of the verse, you notice that a lot of the verses, tend to take the form like A, B, A. Like you just kind of have a bit of variation in the middle, but goes back to what it is, the first line that you started out with. But this song really doesn't, and especially the last line has a really sort of a reassuring kind of vibe. And if you look at the lyrics, in all the verses, but like let's say the first verses, it goes like O come, Emmanuel, and ransom captive Israel, that mourns in lonely exile here, until the Son of God appear. So if you analyze the feelings that are contained in each of those lines, the first three lines really are more about longing and the tough situation of the main people that the song is about, and words like ransom, captive, that mourns. I mean, those are strong words that sort of really conjure up feeling, and the music goes with that. And then the final line, until the Son of God appear, and that sounds reassuring, right? So the importance here is, again, each line, each melody has a character, and you can really fine tune how you match words with the melody so that they really work together to reinforce each other. And that's a great example of the words and music working cohesively together. Now, the chorus section goes like this, right? So notice there is a deviation from that rhythmic pattern, which is a steady quarter notes in that first half of the chorus. And then notice again the words there, rejoice, and there's a space, and then rejoice, or if it's not a space, it's a long note, right? It just completely stands apart from the rest of the song in terms of how that section is different, and then how it's matched up with the strongest, most important words in the song. And it's a great songwriting in that, you know, when you have such important statement, you know, you clear space for it, and you just let the sort of the important words ring out and just let it sink in. You might repeat it if you want to, but again, you know, one of the sort of pillars of songwriting is the contrast or difference between different sections, and how you know, one section setting up a next one, but at the same time the next one being different from what's come before, is what sort of keeps the audience listening. And so this song is another great example of how you just sort of reserve the punch of the chorus by having a steady verse set it up, and then when it arrives you just kind of let it just stand on its own, with its sort of a simplicity and stark sort of a emptiness that comes with it. And you know, it just has room to really sort of let the word ring out strongly and resonate with the audience. So with Okam Okam Emmanuel, we talked about how triadic melody is a great way to have an interesting melody, but yet without, you know, sounding jarring like a larger intervals. You know, the chords that make up notes that make up the chords are, you know, great choices for using as the foundation of the melody. We talked about how the verse melody, each of the line matches up in terms of the mood with the mood or the feeling of the melody that it's assigned to. And then finally we talked about how the chorus sort of deviates from the rest of the song, and that you know, there is a lot of power in sort of leaving the clutter out and just sort of leaving just important notes just, you know, stand by itself, and, you know, let that sort of sink in with the audience. And those are all great thoughts to keep in mind as you try to write your own enduring songs. Alright, thanks again, and happy holidays to everybody. I hope that we can stay in touch and keep talking about songwriting. So if you have any questions or comments or suggestions, please let me know. I try to respond to all the comments as much as I can. So I look forward to hearing from you, and have happy holidays and happy new year.